This is a DIY built-in bunk bed, built in a 10 by 10 foot bedroom for 2 kids that up until recently only fit 2 beds, no desks, and not nearly enough storage. I built this almost entirely from furniture we already owned. It took longer than I planned. I had to repaint the whole thing over, and it is the project I'm most proud of. If you're dealing with a small bedroom and you've been wondering about a custom built-in solution, this video is for you. The kids were young when we moved in, so a traditional high bunk wasn't something I was comfortable with. We did a low loft bed, which actually worked well for a while. There was storage underneath and space to play. As they got older, I realized that they both needed their own dedicated workspace, but there wasn't room for 2 desks. The only answer was bunk beds. Now, I could have purchased a retail bunk bed and we wouldn't be here right now, but here's what I've learned about small space living with kids. A retail bunk gives you the beds, but it doesn't maximize storage. And in a room this size, maximizing storage is everything. I did look at custom built-ins, but in New York they run into the thousands plus, and that wasn't happening for a kid's room. So I decided to build it myself, and to make it more interesting, I wanted to repurpose the 2 beds we already owned. Before I get to the design, I want to stress the importance of the build, because if you're going to do something like this, you have to get the structure right. The main challenge was this: how do you stack 2 beds that were never designed to be stacked? My answer was box braces made from 2x4s. The top bunk isn't sitting on the bottom bunk, it's lifted above it by the braces. That freed me from having to structurally modify either frame. Once the basic structure was in place, I focused entirely on securing everything to the studs on both walls. Every corner, every edge, reinforced with mending plates and corner braces. We're talking about hundreds of screws. My kids are not careful. They climb, they jump, they hang off things. The structure needed to be able to handle daily, enthusiastic abuse. Also, I should note, I did not screw into the floor or the ceiling, only the walls. I wanted to preserve the option to take this apart someday and keep the original floors and ceiling as close to intact as possible. If you take nothing else from this video, please remember to find the studs. Use the right hardware, build in redundancy, don't cut corners, safety first. An important note is the height of the top bunk. I wanted to be able to sit comfortably in the lower bunk, which meant 36 inches of clearance from the top of the bottom mattress to the bottom of the top bunk. Measure from the top of the mattress, not the top of the frame. Building the box frames was straightforward, but I'll give you one tip I wish I'd had going in. Select your lumber in person. At big box stores, warped and twisted 2x4s are common, and a warped 2x4 in a structural frame is a problem that you don't want. Having to stop mid-project is just a waste of time and extremely frustrating. The headboard cubbies were always part of the plan. More storage, always. And I knew the kids would want dedicated shelf space for books, toys, and stuffies. I built additional box frames, secured them in place, and used trim to cover any gaps. Once the structure was built and secured, it was functional. The design details are what make it feel custom. For the trim, I knew from the beginning that I wanted this room to feel classic and contemporary, timeless rather than kid-themed. Right now it's a shared room. In a few years, it may belong to just one of them. I wanted the room to be able to transition easily. I chose Fluted shiplap because it felt both classic and contemporary. I also love how the lower drawers disappear visually into the bed frame. It was very tedious to execute. Every piece had to be cut, sanded, and aligned while keeping the drawers fully functional, but it was worth it. The paint story is a part I don't love telling, but it's the most honest part of this project. I initially painted the entire built-in Sherwin Williams Urbane Bronze. The entire thing. We lived with it for a week before I admitted it wasn't working. The room's lighting made it read too dark, and my daughter kept telling me how sad it looked. She was right. I repainted with Sherwin Williams Debonair. It's light blue without being baby blue. There's enough gray in it to keep it grounded, and the paint type is Sherwin Williams Emerald Urethane Trim Enamel, which is their cabinet paint, and it has held up very nicely. I painted by hand the first time when I painted it the wrong color, and I sprayed it the second time. Spraying is faster and messier, hand painting is slower and more controlled. This was my most ambitious standalone project, and the final result was worth every extra hour it took, including the week I spent living with the wrong paint color. The room now has 2 dedicated sleeping spaces, 2 desks, an integrated dresser, and headboard cubbies in a 10 by 10 space. There are still a few things I want to add, like a patinaed brass handle on the ladder, gallery rails for the cubbies, nicer sconces, which I'm still looking for. But design is an ongoing process, so I'm not in a hurry. What I can tell you is that the structure is solid, the kids love it, and it looks like it was always there, which was exactly the goal. If you're working through a similar challenge, a room that isn't quite cooperating, a project that feels just outside your budget, I hope this was useful. Not just as a how-to, but as a reminder that the gap between what you want and what you can do is usually smaller than it looks when you start. If you found this helpful, please subscribe. I have a lot more coming. Projects, DIYs, and an honest look at what it actually takes to build a home that feels intentional. Thanks for watching.